Yes! We finally get to meet that character that we only heard voices of in the past. Hey guys, it's Daniel here, and today I'm here to tell you guys my spoiler thoughts on the second episode of The Walking Dead Season 11, titled Acheron Pt.2. And again, major spoilers, so do not watch the video any further if you've not seen this episode yet. So, basically, it carries on from the last episode. Negan fails to help Maggie get off the train, and so she falls on the ground and sneaks underneath the train. But she manages to get on from the other side and gets inside the train. And pretty much everybody is just angry at Negan. Like, they are stressed with Negan. They are done with Negan for almost letting Maggie die. But Negan, once again, just like in Acheron Part 1, he says some very validated things, like, well, she just talked about killing me, and I've done some things in the past. What do you mean, like burning down Hilltop? Yeah, that's really help. I was supposed to burn down Hilltop. I killed Alpha. That was helpful. If it wasn't for me, you'd be all heads on spikes by now. I did what had to be done back then. And again, he's right. Sure, his plan was a bit extreme, it destroyed Hilltop, but he still came up with a plan that saved everybody's lives. But the characters still do not trust him because of all this stuff. But they start to, like, slowly realise that Maggie's plan is turning out a bit suicidal. Because one of the kids who came along with this whole crew to go get food by the name of Gage is being trapped in another compartment in the train, and the door is locked, and our characters are on the other side. Negan and Alden are trying to get the door open to help save his life, but Maggie, on the other hand, sees the herd that's flooding behind him. Like, it's far away, but even though it's far away from Gage, she thinks she cannot risk it and leaves Gage in that compartment to die. Maggie left someone to die. Yeah, this is one of the most polarizing aspects of Maggie's character. On the one hand, yeah, Gage may or may not have deserved it, because I believe he was one of the people who were going to kill Lydia in Season 10, Episode 4. So, in a way, he kind of deserved it, but at the same time, he didn't deserve it because it proves that Maggie is turning out to be a bit of a corrupt politician or bad guy or something. I mean, obviously she's not a villain, but she has a bit of a villainous persona because she can't risk the herd get to them when they are this close to getting what they need to get, with that being the food that they are trying to get for Alexandria. So, in a way, nah, I can't side with Maggie, because I was like, yeah, Alden made a valid point. The herd was, like, far away. Gage was, like, right at the front door. He was standing right in front of it. And yet Maggie still says no. So the big guy just blocks their way into the thing. Look, I know you're following Maggie's orders, Skulosaurus, but come on. Why, Maggie? But later on, after Gage's death, they are trying to escape the train. And Maggie is telling about how she and Herschel, her son, have been looking for food. And they came across a zombie woman tied up, and they found the food and all that, and now they're trying to take it back. Again, even though I'm, like, very concerned and angry at Maggie's methods in the season so far, it can still be understandable. I mean, they're not forgiven or validated, but they're understood, as after 6 years, she's been absent from her friends, and so now she wants to earn back their trust. I mean, they already trusted her from the start, but she's been gone for 6 years and never helped out in the battle with the Whisperers. Sure, she did appear to fight one Whisperer in Season 10, Episode 16, but it was too late by then. Negan already helped out. So, Maggie is just trying her best to support Alexandria like it's precious and that they need it to be precious. It made me understood where her character was coming from. Yes, her actions are a bit extreme, but everything she's doing is for the love of her own people. But just because I understood her methods doesn't mean I agree with her methods. Meanwhile, in the same subway, Daryl follows his dog, named, well, Dog. I mean, okay, maybe you were a bit too lazy to name the dog. I mean, don't you think there could have been a really good name for that dog? Like maybe Merle? Yes, I know some kids in the show have been named after people who sacrificed their lives throughout the years of The Walking Dead, but again, they did that, so it would make sense for Dog to be named Merle, Daryl's brother, because that would, like, carry on Merle's legacy, I guess. But anyway, Daryl and his dog are walking across the railway, and Daryl comes across a dollar note that reads out a message that these two kids sent to their parents, like, either before the apocalypse or after the apocalypse. And speaking of Daryl, I have to talk about one of the coolest, if not the coolest, parts of this episode. I mean, when I saw this part, I was like, whoa, man, that's Norman Reedus at his most vicious. It's when Daryl finally makes it to the group in the train, and there's a long one-shot scene from outside the train, and we can see Daryl through the window, where he's just slicing walkers left and right throughout from the outside in just one take. And that scene, whew, wow, Daryl, that's why you are so awesome. So they finally make it out of the place. Negan and Maggie sort of had like a collaborative, as Maggie lends Negan a gun to shoot walkers, and then Negan ends up giving the gun back to him. And she does trust him again to lead them the way to the food. But while walking in this way to the food, there's a bunch of bodies that are being hanged on some trees. And then we finally get to meet the rival gang that Maggie has been telling people about, the Reapers. Now, of course, we only get to see them in this episode for about 15 seconds, and then that's how the episode ends. So they're leading that to the third episode. But my God, these characters are very aimed to their targets, because I think they killed 2 people on the team, like that one guy with the eye patch, the long beard. Hell, I'm just starting to realize. I think either they might be killing some more new characters in the next episode, maybe. I don't know. But this is starting to become more like the Suicide Squad, where they've introduced a bunch of new characters in the beginning, and then they just whew, got them lost. But again, the Reapers in that scene, whew, wow. I cannot wait to see more of them later on. But of course, the Reapers, Negan, Maggie are again not the only aspects of Acheron, because we also still have the same sub-story with Eugene, Yumiko, Princess, and Ezekiel being trapped in the Commonwealth base. Now, at the end of the last episode, Yumiko finds a hint that her brother might still be alive, so she's basically just like testing with the Commonwealth, just like showing them that she knows more about the Commonwealth that maybe they couldn't figure out. But you'll slightly notice that Ezekiel is mostly absent for a lot of this episode. So you're like wondering, oh, where's they at? And Princess goes off to the bathroom, but Princess, Yumiko, and Ezekiel are absent. That only leaves poor Eugene. And let me tell you, Eugene is probably the best part of the episode, because Josh McDermott, I think that's the actor's name, wow, he conveys emotions very well, making him come off as sympathetic, because we get to the most emotional part of this episode, the interaction between him and Mercer. That scene, wow, Eugene, you really do convey emotions. You really want this apocalypse to at least have a bit of hope and a bit of life. That's what you want, because Eugene is just confessing his attachment to Stephanie. He explains why they went to the place. They went there to be with Stephanie, and you just see the tears in his eyes as he conveys how much he has a very big soft spot for Stephanie. And you're just like, Eugene, don't cry. I don't like seeing you like that. But then we get to the reason why I was like this in the beginning, when I said, wow, we finally meet that character. It's when Eugene gets back with Ezekiel, Yumiko, and Princess, and this is the scene where we finally meet the voice that Eugene was hearing on the radio, Stephanie. And when I saw that scene, I was like, oh, that is one of the most genuine endings in The Walking Dead ever made, because you just see the smile and relief on Eugene's eyes when, like she comes in, she says, which one of you is Eugene? And then Eugene reveals himself, and Stephanie says, "Hi, I'm Stephanie." And then Josh McDermott, wow, I love the look on his face. And I cannot wait to see the interaction between Stephanie and Eugene in real life. Like, I want like a whole episode of the Commonwealth, not just a subplot or a side story. I want it like in one episode, because that means we can get a lot of Eugene and Stephanie moments. I cannot wait to see Stephanie more in this season. I cannot wait to see her meet Rosita so they can talk about Eugene and all that. I think I like this part more than part 1, and it just made me really want to see more where the story is going. It's so genuine. Eugene and Stephanie has me excited. Negan and Maggie is still very interesting and in rivalry. The Reapers look awesome, and everything just ended so well in this episode that made me just really want to go see the next one. So, what do you think of this episode of The Walking Dead? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And what do you think of Eugene and Stephanie? Do you think they're going to make a very genuine couple? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, I'm Daniel reviewing movies, TV shows, doing videos. Till then, peace out, man.